Good afternoon. Welcome, and welcome again to another day here at Michael University. 'Tis the place where leaders are made, and with God's help, I'll be the man to help you get there. Now, every day you come in, please remember to be positive, productive, and progressive. That means we're going to be happy, make some things happen, keep moving forward. Every day. And again, I say, good afternoon. Let's make today better than the last time we saw each other. I don't even remember the last time we saw each other. It's been a while. It's been a journey. It's another experience we can put into our book of life. It's another chapter, man. Nobody likes those stories where there's no adversity, there's no problems. Like, those aren't best-selling movies. So take this as a bump in the road to make the journey even more interesting, you know? All that to say, we're winding down to the end of our 2019-2020 school year. We have one more lesson.
Just one.
For the record, I am going to be probably doing some things during the summer. For any of those who want to catch up and be ahead of the game, look for those videos too.
This lesson is going to be over solving systems of equations. We've already done linear equations. We've solved for variables, found the values for missing variables and things like that. But what if there's more than one variable in the equation? We still got to balance it, get all of the variables on one side, the other values on the other side, so we can find out the value that is missing. And we're going to use one variable to solve for another variable.
It all makes sense.
So stay tuned. This is another episode of Talk That Math Talk. Get your mind, your materials, and your body in position to learn something and leave smarter. Let's go. Mr. Michael about to teach. Mr. Michael about to teach. Mr. Michael about to teach. Yeah. Mr. Michael about to teach. Yeah. That ain't even right. Talk that math talk. All right, so we are about to get into solving systems of equations. This is one very important concept that will be helpful for you moving forward as you matriculate through math in your educational life. So a system of equations is simply more than one equation happening at the same time. And we're trying to find out exactly where do these two equations equal the same thing. Try to find out where the values of each equations will be the same. Try to figure out if we were to graph it, where they will intersect. And we're going to do that by using both variables to solve for the other one. Here we go. So the method that we're using for this one is going to be called substitution. All right. I'm going to use using substitution. Now, you would use substitution if you already have a variable on a side by itself. In this case, we already know the value of y. Y is -5. Nothing extra we have to do. We're just going to use the value of -5 in the equation. All right. So everywhere that we see if I can get some colors. All right. Since we already have the value of y is -5. I'm going to plug in for the value y, -5. Okay? Now, since I already know it's -5, I'm going to rewrite this equation with -5 for y. So it will be 5x plus 4 times -5 from substituting it in is equal to -20. Again, this method is called substitution because for my athletes and everybody else who's been in math for a while, substitute means to take something out, put something else in, or to replace it, if you will. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and solve. use our ellipse line. Here's some math that needs to happen. 4 times a negative 5 will give me, good job, that's a negative 20. And everything else, bring it on down. Why didn't I bring the plus sign down? Well, this negative tells me that I'm subtracting 20 as well as this value is 20, so there's no need to put plus a negative 20. We'll just put 5x minus 20 is equal to negative 20. All right, now we still don't have our variable on the side by itself just yet. We need to do something to get rid of everybody else. So we're gonna add 20 on both sides. So 20's cancel. So now I have 5x is equal to negative 20 plus 20. That gives me 0. Okay, and I'll divide both sides by 5. X is equal to 0. So I have my x value and I have my y value. I need another color for x. Let's do red. Sure enough. We'll do blue. So now I have x is 0. So I know both values. I know x value is 0. My y value is a negative 5. That means that these two equations, or the solution of this equation, solution is 0, negative 5. All right. This is the place where both of these equations will equal the same thing. When x is 0, both equations will be negative 5. All right? That's using substitution. Sometimes it'll look like this. Now in this case, we're going to use, let me see. You know what? Let's also use substitution here. Going to be a little different. We're going to use substitution. Using substitution. Okay, now this is on you. Again, this is another method. It's not the only way, but if you like how substitution looks, it looks very easy. All I have to do is find out what one is, plug it in, and then make it happen. Let me show you what it looks like if a variable isn't already by itself. Let's say I'm going to solve for x, all right, because x seems to be something I can easily get by itself. So what I'm going to do is rewrite this equation so that I can do some work. X minus y is equal to 13. Okay, now if I'm solving for x, that means I would have to get rid of the y. But y is a variable. Yes, it is a variable, but the variable that I want to find the value of in this particular case is x. So I'm going to move the y. I'm going to add y on both sides. Okay, my y's are going to cancel. I now have x by itself. Yes. X by itself would be, yeah, that's it. It's just 13 plus y. Or you could have put y plus 13. But either way, what I can't do is add 13 plus y and get 13y. It's not how it works. 13 is a constant, or just numbers, and then y is a variable. You can't combine those two in that sense. You just have to leave it how it is. So now that I have, and it doesn't look normal, it doesn't. But remember, math is about patterns. Doesn't matter what it is, letters, numbers, animals, you should be able to follow the pattern and get to where you're supposed to go. Okay, so x is 13 plus y. Like, just let that sink in. X is equal to 13 plus y, okay? All right, now I'm gonna write my other equation down. Okay, my other equation was 4. Remember, since we solved for x, that means that this guy here is about to take another face. Okay, instead of x, we're going to use this value here for x. Substitute it in, 13 plus y, close, plus 2y, which is the rest of the equation, is equal to 10. Let that breathe. All right, now let me explain what just happened just to make sure we're clear. I solved for x in the beginning. X is equal to 13 plus y. Now I'm going to use that value that I now know is x and substitute it in to my first equation. Okay? I'm going to try to use the color coding system with blue being x, yellow being y, green being the solution. You know, because blue and yellow make green. All right, so now we're gonna solve like normal. We only have one variable to worry about now, okay? So we're gonna use decisiveness. How do we solve this math mess? DCVNS. Distribute, yes. 4 times 13. You can use your calculator, it's a blessing. Amen. I believe that's 52. Gives me 52 plus 4 times y will get me, good job, 4y. And everything else, bring it on down. Anytime you don't use it, bring it on down. All right, anything else to distribute? No, all right. Now we use C, combine like terms. Are there any terms here that can be combined? Look on our left side. 52 and 4y are not the same. 4y and 2y, they both have y, so we can combine those two. 4y and 2y will get me, good job, that's 6y, because it's 4y's here, 2y's there. And everything else, bring it on down. Anytime you don't use it, bring it on down. I'll combine my like terms. Are the variables on one side? Y is over here, no y is over there, check. Are my numbers on the other side? 52 over here, 10 over there. That means I gotta make a move. Now since 6y is already over here, my y is on the left, so I'm gonna leave him alone, and I'm gonna move the 52. Since this is a positive 52, I will subtract 52 on both sides of my equation. All right, let that breathe. Unscrunch your eyebrows, it's okay. There you go, relax your face. All right, 52 minus 52 cancels out. I have 6y is equal to 10 gluteins, 52 redites. Gotta make a video for that so that makes sense to you. But I'm taking away 52 from 10. That leaves me with a negative 42. All right. Now for those who already know what's about to happen, you can pause the video real quick, finish it, and then come back to see if what I have is what you have. All right. But for those who are still with me, let's go. My numbers are all together. Last step, we simply solve a one-step equation. All right, since 6 and y are connected by multiplication, I will divide to do the inverse operation. All right, 6 divided by 6 cancels out, giving me 1y is equal to negative 42 divided by 6. There you go. All right, what you got? Me too, I also have negative 7. All right, so now I have the value of y. Cool. Now this is a number that we like. This is a number. I have an actual value for the variable y. What can I do with that? Yeah, that's right. I go over here to my x. Now I have x is equal to 13 plus y. Now before I didn't know what y was, but now I do. Okay? So x is equal to 13 plus, and I'm gonna put parentheses only so you can see that it came from somewhere, like it was substituted in. All right, this y right here came from there. All right, so x, and this is a simple math problem, we have 13 plus a negative 7. Negative 7 because of that right there. Take your time. 13. I have 6, I don't know what you got. And it is positive because I have more than what I took away. All right, cool. So now I have my x value is 6. My y value is -7. That means I have my solution. My solution is 6, -7. What does that mean? That means if I were to graph both of these equations, all right, if I graph both of the equations, they would intersect at 6, -7. All right, that means when x is 6, y is -7. They will be the same value when x is 6. Let me see, let's get that in there. I don't know how this looks. Maybe it's tilted. All right. That should be better. All right. That is my solution. That is if we use substitution. I use 2 different ways of substitution. If you like substitution, then continue using this. I have no problem on how you get the right answer as long as the math is correct. I'm not selfish. Unless I'm asking you to prove that you understand a particular method, use whatever method gets you what you need. Okay? Because sometimes it'll look like this. Now, of course, if we wanted to, we can use substitution again. Get x by itself and then go through that. But we're gonna practice elimination on this one. All right, gonna use the method of elimination. Using elimination. Excuse my penmanship. All right, so to eliminate simply means to cancel out, to get rid of. Now in math, the way that you eliminate something is that you have that value. When I'm combining or whatever, I have that value and the opposite of that value. That will cancel each other out. That will eliminate it, okay? Now there are other rules and properties that are being applied here, like the property of equality of multiplication. If I multiply everything on the equation by the same number, then it will all like weigh the same as far as value goes. But that's not what we're gonna get into. Make that another video. What we're going to talk about right now is the process of elimination, using elimination. We look at my x value, my x variable, and my y variable, and we try to see which one of these would be easy to eliminate. What do you mean by that, Mr. Michael? What I mean is, if I have x, then I have 2x. If I wanted to cancel out my x's, all I would need to do is get the opposite of x on both sides. So on this one, on both equations, in this one I have 2x, and this one I have a positive x. So what I'm going to do, and it may be confusing at first, but I promise after 1 or 2, you'll be okay. I'm gonna multiply this entire equation, everything in this equation, times a -2. Let that breathe. Okay, now what this is about to do is boost your mathematical confidence. It's one of those things that look difficult at first, but once you do it a couple times, you feel so good because you're like, man, it look hard, and I can do it. Let's go. So I'm gonna multiply everything times a -2, okay? Everything, I'm gonna distribute everything times -2. Every single term in this equation. All right, now this here, I don't know if it's a real mathematical sign, but I'm just gonna call it a conversion symbol because it's the same thing. It's equal, but it goes somewhere in another direction. I'm just talking. All right, so -2 times x gives me a -2x. You see it? All right. -2 times 7y gets me a -14y. Okay. Is equal to -2 times 0 leaves me with 0. All right, let that breathe. Okay. Now I'm gonna also transfer this other equation. Nothing happened to it. Okay, it's still the exact same equation. All right. And now we look and combine or compare my 2 equations. Can anything be eliminated? The answer is yes. The point of all of this math is so that we can eliminate my x value. I have a negative 2x, I have a positive 2x. Those are going to cancel out. Watch this, it gets so good. Watch. Okay? And now I combine my y values. I have a negative 14y, I got a negative 8y, I have a total of a negative 22y. Watch, just watch. Here you go, watch. Is equal to 0 and 22 will combine and give me 22. Oh, this is about to get good. It's about to get good. Watch, just watch. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right. I have a negative 22y is equal to 22. Okay? If I'm solving for y, I'm gonna divide both sides by a negative 22. And for those who got it, man, go. We're both on the same road to success. You might be in front of me sometimes. I'll meet you there. But everybody who's riding with me, let's take our time and get there, okay? So I have y is equal to 22 divided by a negative 22 leaves me. Very good job, a negative 1. I have one value. Yes. I have a value. All right, now that I have that, I'm gonna go back and look for the easiest equation that I can substitute in to find the value of x. Now at this point, I have 3 different equations. I'll let you find them and then I'm gonna show you. All right, so we have equation A, which is my original equation. That's the x plus 7y equals 0. I have equation B, okay, that's my 2x minus 8y is equal to 22. Then I have equation C. That's my negative 2x minus 14y is equal to 0. If I plug negative 1 into any of these equations, I'm gonna get the answer that I need. I'm gonna find the value of x. Because the whole point of this is that they will share the same x and y value at a particular point. Now I'm gonna let you think about which one you want to pick. All right, okay, you could do that, but I'm gonna pick equation A. All right, so I'm gonna go back and just by selection, I'm gonna choose equation A. Yeah, but why'd you choose equation A, Mr. Michael? Man, that's a good question. Because A looks the easiest to me. I don't like negatives. This x is already by itself, so I'm gonna use this one. Save my brain some energy for later. It's x plus 7y is equal to 0. I'm gonna write it all the way out so you can see I'm about to substitute this boy here for negative 1. Okay? Now let's solve. It's x plus 7 times negative 1, because that's what this is. Is equal to 0. Get my color coordination so you can see exactly where this negative 1 came from. All right? Okay. And now we're going to solve. Getting excited because we're just about done. It's x minus 7 is equal to 0. Okay? All right? Okay. I'm going to add 7 on both sides. X is equal to 7. All right, okay, there it is. I have my x value. I have my y value. Yep. And that means I have my solution. My solution, this is an abbreviation for solution, is 7 comma negative 1. There it is. There it is. Any questions? What's crazy is I asked like y'all were gonna be able to answer, and I know you can't. All right. So that's called elimination. And to be more specific, and I probably should have like showed you that sometimes it's a little easier than you want it to be. Okay, this is elimination. I actually call this force elimination because we had to create an opportunity for elimination to happen. We had to force it. So as a matter of fact, let me just do this live right now. We're gonna call this using force elimination. The reason it's written parenthetically, they don't call it that. I do. Like, they just call it all elimination, but I just want my people to be fully aware of the level of work that they're gonna need in order to get it done. Like, just to be clear what route. All right, so it's all elimination, but I'm saying force elimination so that you know that sometimes you have to create the space to do the elimination. Okay, I'm gonna show you what it looks like otherwise. Like, maybe you don't need to do anything at all. Let me show you real quick. I'm gonna move something. All right, sometimes it'll look like this. All right, now in this case, this is also using elimination. I'll let y'all write that down. Even though you can pause it. Go ahead and pause it if you need to, but this is using elimination. Okay, this is not forced elimination because if you look carefully, yeah, you see it. There it is. There you go. If you look carefully, something can already be eliminated on its own. No force. Don't have to try to do anything. It's already ready to be eliminated. Anybody see it? All right, let me help you out for those who don't. If you look really quick, my x's, I have a 7x and I have a positive x. And what we're looking for is the same value with opposite signs. The same values with opposite signs. Does that happen here? Nah, not quite. But I have a 2y and I have a negative 2y. That already can be eliminated. All right, step one is look to see which variable can be eliminated. Found them. 2y minus 2y, they can be eliminated. Step two, I combine both equations. Okay, I'm gonna combine them. 7x and an x is gonna give me a total of 8x. Okay, and on this side, I have a negative 19 and a negative 21. If I combine those, I'm not gonna say add or subtract. I'm gonna say combine, so that way you can know if it's positive or negative, which one you need to do. But I combine negative 19 and a negative 21. That gives me a negative 40. Okay? Oh yeah, it's about to get good. Hey, hard work is only hard until you get good at it. All right? When you get good at it, then you just feel good about it, being able to show what you can do. Okay, so I have 8x is equal to a negative 40. All right, I'm gonna divide both sides by 8 so that I can get x by itself. Okay, that's x is equal to a negative 40 divided by 8. Honest, that's light work. That's a negative 5. All right, so we are halfway done, just that fast. Just because we were able to identify that something can already be eliminated. All right, so that's x is equal to a negative 5. Since I have the value for x, what do I need to do? That's right. I solved for one of them. Now I need to solve for the other. I can choose equation A, which is this guy here, or equation B. I'll let you pick. All right, whatever one you picked, you can pause it, work it on yourself. But myself, I am going to use equation B. Well, why? Last time we used equation A. Yeah, I know. But equation B is easier this time. I have an x that's already by itself. And it's going to be a little easier for me to handle. It's a lot happening here. All right? So this is just my personal preference. You can do what you want. And I'm going to rewrite it. X minus 2y is equal to a negative 21. Okay? Go Go ahead and identify the guy that's about to be substituted. So I have negative 5 minus 2y is equal to negative 21. Okay, and this negative 5 came from my value of x. All right. And now I'm going to add 5 on both sides. Get my ellipse line going. Add 5 on both sides, so that cancels out. Negative 2y is equal to. Good job. That's a negative 16. All right, we're almost done. Almost done. Divide both sides by a negative 2. All right. Y is equal to negative 16 divided by negative 2. I'm gonna let you get this victory by yourself real quick. Good job, good job. I also have the same thing. That'll give me a positive 8. And for those who made a mistake and got negative 8, take your time. Take your time. If I divide a negative by a negative, I am gonna get a positive. That's that. I have my solution, folks. My solution is negative 5, comma 8, meaning at this point, at that point, my equations would cross each other. They will intersect each other. They will have the same value for both. Right here, all right? Or if I were to plug negative 5 and 8 into any equation for x and y, I would get what these answers are. Try it on your own, man. I'm telling you, it's real stuff. Last one. So we've done forced elimination. All right. We've done elimination, noticing that we don't need to force anything, and sometimes it'll look like this. And make sure my camera angle's good. All right, let's get right here. We're 30 minutes in. We're 30 minutes in. All right. Now, if you look here, I don't know which one y'all want to do. I don't know if you want to do force or you want to do. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to force it because I'm looking at 8 or negative 8x. I'm looking at 6x. I'm looking at negative 10y and I'm looking at 5y. Now, to be completely honest, I could do a normal force and multiply the top and the bottom by 2, and that will get rid of my y's. Right? But what I'm gonna do, just for the sake of giving another example, is I'm going to use double force elimination. What do you mean, Mr. Michael? That means I'm gonna have to multiply both equations by something so that I can get to a eliminating situation. I have 8 and I have 6. Correction, I have a negative 8 and I have a positive 6. And I'm trying to find a way to eliminate my x's. All right. And actually, I just thought about it. I am going to go back and show you what I could have done with the y's. But let me show you this really quick. So I'm going to multiply this entire equation times a number and that one. All right, I'm gonna create 2 brand new equations. 8 and 6. You know, I could turn them both into 48 if I wanted to, because I know that that's a common factor. But there's a smaller one though. 8, 9, 12, 18. I think I got it. Yeah. Now let me show you my thought process for those who aren't seeing what I'm saying. I have 8 and I have 6's. Okay. Times 2 will give me 16. Gives me 12. Times 3 gives me 24. Gives me 18. Times 4. 32. Wait a minute. So I have 24 on both. That's the number I want to get them to. All right? This is times 2, times 3, times 4. So what I'm going to do, in order to get 8 to become 24, I'm gonna multiply this whole thing times 3. Because 8 times 3 is 24. Okay? If I want to get this whole thing, if I want to get 6x to become 24x, I gotta multiply this entire equation times 4. You know, because 6 times 4 is 24. Why am I doing this? Because I want to eliminate. I want to cancel out one of these so that my problem doesn't look as difficult. All right? Now, if I multiply 3 times everything here, I'm going to have a new equation. Negative 24x, 3 times negative 10, negative 30x, 3 times 24, is equal to, what's that, 72? 4, 12, 6, 72. Okay? For my 4 times 6x will get me 24x. Okay? Plus 4 times 5y gets me 20y. Is equal to 4 times 2 will give me 8. All right. Whew. All right. So a negative 24x combined with a 24x will eliminate. Now I have negative 30x plus 20y. No. I don't know what this x is doing. It's supposed to be a y. My apologies. Negative 30y plus 20y gets me, come on now. Yeah, negative 10y is equal to 72 combined with 8. Yep, there it is right there. 80. Oh, we looking easy now. Now I have to get y. All right, divide both sides by a negative 10. Okay. Y is equal to negative 8. All right. Now we've created a lot of different equations here, but you already know what my thinking is. We're gonna think smarter, not harder. We have equation A, which is my original one here. Equation B, which is my original, this one. We created equation C after the multiplication took place. We have equation D, which is here. Now again, for my people who like to either test themselves or test the teacher, you can pick any of these equations and you will get what you need. But for me and my house, we will keep our brains at ease. You understand me? And I'm gonna choose the one that I believe is going to be the easiest to manipulate. And that is going to be equation B. So that is this equation here. I'm gonna get them, pull them down. That'll give me 6x plus 5y is equal to 2. Okay? And this is y. All right, so I'm gonna use this value here to plug in there. 6x plus 5 times negative 8 is equal to 2. Again, just to remind you where this came from. All right? And now I solve the ellipsis line here. Gives me negative 40 is equal to 2. Everything else you bring it on down. Anytime you don't use it, you bring it on down. All right. We almost there, man. We almost there. Trying to solve for x really quick. We're gonna add 40 on both sides to get rid of my constants, leaving me 6x is equal to 42. Okay. Here you go. Okay. Now I'm gonna divide both sides by 6. Foul. All right. X equals, I'm gonna let you get that. I ain't gonna take your trophy from you. I'm gonna let you get it. Yeah. Don't it feel good though? Don't it feel good? Hey, 42 divided by 6 gives me 7. Foul. Let's highlight that, buddy. Like this here. All right. And now we have my solution. That'll give me 7, -8. Meaning my x value will be 7. My y value will be -8. That will give me both of these statements being true. Man, we gotta go. Okay. That's it. But I did tell you I was going to show you what else you could have done. This is double elimination. Double forced elimination. I chose to manipulate both equations so that I can create an eliminating situation. All right? But you could have done this. Okay, you could have done -8x. Slide this up a little bit. Make sure I'm good on my camera. Yeah, we're good. -8x minus 10y is equal to 24. Okay? And I think this was a 6x plus 5y is equal to 2. All right? Now, on this one, we could have just used elimination. We could have used a regular elimination. We could have forced using force elimination. Okay? If we would have done that, who could be eliminated quicker? Exactly. We could have looked at my y's. I got a -10y. I have a 5y. I can multiply, let me see, this one or this one? This one? This one? This one. Let's multiply this one. Multiply this entire equation times 2. Why 2? Well, you'll see in a little bit. I'll transfer you over really quick. -8x minus 10y equal to 24. And when you transfer over, you look different. 2 times 6x gives me, good job, 12x. 2 times 5y is 10y. Uh-oh, I see something. This is a 4, by the way. And then 2 times 2 gets me 4. Hold on now. Step 2, combine the two equations. Can anybody be eliminated right now? Absolutely. We look at my y's. I have opposite values on y. -10y, +10y cancels out. All right. Now everybody else I combine. A -8x and a 12x will combine and give me, come on now, 4x. All right. Is equal to 24 plus 4. Take your time. Don't drop the baton. Yeah, that's 28. You understand me? And now, wait, hold on. Oh, yeah, last step. Divide both sides by 4, like so. Take your time now. Yeah, 4s will cancel out. X is equal to, you earned this trophy, go and get it. 7. X is equal to 7. There it is. Just like on our last equation, or when I showed you the first one, we had x equal to 7, right? Let me see. Yup. X is equal. Just like on my last equation where I had 7. Right here is the solution for x. All right? It's happening again. Just to let you know, if you do math properly, there's more than one way to get to your right answer, okay? And now that I have that, I can use either equation A, okay? That's -8x minus 10y equals 24. Equation B, or this, in this case, we only have this other equation here, equation C. For myself, as for me and my house, we are going to keep our minds at ease, man. We're going to use the one that is going to get us what we need with the least amount of brunt work. That's 6x plus 5y equals 2. In this instance, we already have the value of x. Okay? So let's go ahead and plug them in. We have 6 times 7 plus 5y is equal to 2. All right? 6 times 7 will get me 42 plus 5y is equal to 2. We almost there, man. So I have my lifty line to create some balance here. I'm looking for 5y, so I need to get rid of the 42. I will subtract 42 on both sides. All right. That gives me 5y is equal to a negative 40. You see what I see? You see what I see? We in the same spot, huh? We in the same space. Here we go. Make sure we good on my camera. Yeah. So I divide both sides by 5. Y is equal to, yet again, a negative 8. Feel good when you're good, man. But don't be good. Be great. Solution. 7 for my x. Negative 8 for my y. Now go drink some water. Did a lot of learning. Did a lot of hard work. You deserve it.